Daria. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So I heard you went on vacation this past long weekend.
I did. I went up to Algonquin for the weekend. It was a great time.
And what did you do in Algonquin?
Some friends and I decided to go camping, so we booked out a campsite there, and it was a good time.
Did you do any recreational activities while you were there?
I guess so. We spent a lot of time on the beach, swimming. The water was gorgeous. Just otherwise, we just spent our time around the campfire. Played cards and different games and made s'mores.
Traditional camping
Yeah.
activities.
Yeah, it was a good time, and it was just really great to relax and get away from the stress of life. So
Stress of life.
yeah.
What do you mean by the stress of life?
I'm finishing up a school term.
Are you taking spring courses?
Yes, I'm taking spring courses, and it's going well. But I'm kind of worried about my program. Have been for the past pretty much since I came, and it's kind of an ongoing thing. And I feel like by this point I should have committed to what I'm in, since I haven't really taken any steps to getting out of it. So, kind of feel like I'm sitting on a fence, trying to truck through all this schoolwork, and not sure if there's something like holding me back from doing my very best.
Are you unsure of the program that you're in, or unsure of something else?
I guess so. I like it. I just feel like it doesn't leave me too many options. I'm not really sure what will happen if my plan doesn't work out. And by my plan, I mean I really want to get into teachers college and be a teacher. But it's a competitive program. The regulations recently changed, so when I apply, it'll be even more competitive.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just feel like there might have been better programs to prepare me for that whole process. And
did you feel like you were unprepared going into your program, or like university in general?
Not unprepared, just like course-wise, it just felt like maybe uninformed.
So you wish you had more knowledge.
Yes.
Before going into it, about like the courses and what your program.
About the program, and also about myself. And I just wish I had taken a little bit more time, maybe a year off in between high school and university, to like really make sure that this is where I wanted to be.
Yeah. So what brought you to University of Waterloo? Like, what brought you into your program that you're in? You're in arts and business, is that correct?
Yes. It's a good program. I applied to it, as well as other things. And when I got in, my mom was really, really happy that I got in, and a lot of it was because it was in town.
Yeah.
I think that was like her biggest desire for me, was to stay in town with the fam. But all other things, like business, having that business portion just seemed a little bit more important, like a little bit, more helpful than just like a regular Bachelor of Arts, like with the standard majors. But I think a lot of it was, because of staying in town. And she really encouraged me to do that, and I guess that's the decision I made.
Now, was this decision more so your decision, or do you think it was more influenced by your mother?
I think she was a big influence. I think it was. It's really hard to not rebel, that's not the word, but kind of go against what your parents want, especially when it doesn't seem unreasonable.
Yeah.
It wasn't, she wasn't doing it to spite me. She made a very good point that, if I went, for example, to Queens, they have a very good concurrent education program where you complete your Bachelor of Arts and your education for math.
Is it the master's?
It's not the master's, but it's a step below. So it's in itself teachers college within the whole 5 years that you're there, and your Bachelor of Arts in your arts major and probably some minors. So it was a very good program for where I want to be, for what I want to do with my career, and it would have been a lot less stressful, school-wise, because I wouldn't have to reapply for teachers college. I would just be in, and as long as I kept up with the standards, I complete it. And now I'd have to apply, but her argument, which made a lot of sense, is if I went all the way to Queens, I'd have to live on my own, and it'd be a lot more financially stressful, and if I ran into trouble, then they couldn't guarantee that they could help me, especially if I'm so far away. I wouldn't have very many options.
Yes.
So that was a big portion of it as well.
So what I'm getting at, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's not ideally based around your mother's influence. It's more so other factors as well, such as financial issues. Did money have a big impact on your decision to stay in town and stay at home?
It really did. It just, I hate to say safe, but it really is. If I needed to live at home, which I do live at home now, that option is available, and it doesn't make it any more stressful to continue with my education. And all on top of just living expenses, which are very high.
Yeah, they are.
Coming back to visit, you miss people here. That's travel expenses and just other things like that. I don't know if I could get a job in Kingston, whereas here I had connections, I knew people already, and I have a part-time job as well, so that kind of helps me with tuition and other school expenses. So in Kingston, I guess it'd be a new place.
It's definitely a new environment.
And as well as getting adjusted to a new home, a new school, and all that stuff, there'd be that added, I need to get a job and I'll support myself.
Right.
And that was definitely a big factor.
So what I'm getting at is back to your program and the level of stress that you originally came here about. Is it strictly only on your program, or are there other aspects that's making you feel stressed lately?
Well, I mean, there's the little things, getting through exams, assignments, dealing with administration and tuition. There's definitely those, but I feel like that's just university life, and it's just hard to push through all those when I feel, there's this little insecurity, a little voice in my head saying, you might be doing this for nothing.
Right.
You might do this and complete it, and you get your diploma, or get your degree, and then you're gonna be stuck, and then what, do it again, and try and hope for better results. And I think that's holding me back as well. It's holding me back from being able to deal with the normal university stuff.
Yeah. So I feel like the way that you handle stress is a big factor right now. Is that
for sure? For sure.
So what about if we looked at ways of helping you with that stress? So we talked about what the struggles that you're going through with your program and the stress that your future goals, as well as the program and the classes, are having on you. Have you ever thought about how you're going to deal with it?
Sometimes I sit down and I say, yeah, I need to book an appointment, maybe go see some faculty members and see what they have to say, and I'm not sure why I just don't make time for it.
Well, that's something that I could help you schedule around. So maybe we can work towards booking an appointment with the Tatum Center, and you can work towards your education. They can help you with your career goals as well.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
Okay, and do you have any free time? Would you prefer after your exam?
Probably. Yeah.
Maybe a little less stressful for you.
Yes.
And what other options that we could do is maybe, like you mentioned about other faculty members, do you know anyone in your program?
I don't know very many older students, but I know there's a few profs that are, more, open to conversation, more open to having talks about just life. So I feel like they'd be a useful tool as well.
Yeah, and there are also social networks that can actually get you involved in your program or just like certain classes.
Mm-hmm.
Certain classes have like blogs or discussion boards,
Mm-hmm.
and you can discuss assignments, maybe even, I don't know, like courses that you're
Mm-hmm.
interested in, maybe that you didn't know before because they're not that common and you weren't really well informed about it.
Yeah. I think there's also political science association, so that could help me with my major probably more than other places. But yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Okay, so we're getting somewhere. So maybe your last exam was on the 14th, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so how about we meet sometime after that, and then we can discuss an appointment with the Tatum Center, and then maybe look at trying to find you some good groups to get involved with, maybe that relate to your program,
Mm-hmm.
or like a class that you're in that you're looking to get into, maybe.
Okay.
Or maybe even just spending some actual outside school time.
Yeah.
I think it would be good for you to get out and take your mind off of school,
Mm-hmm.
and relieve some of your stress that you're feeling.
Mm-hmm.
So I can see that it's really high level of stress right now.
Yes. All right. Well, I guess we'll make an appointment for after my exam.
Yes, that sounds good.
All right. Thanks so much.
You're welcome.